Hey everybody, it's Tara Green here, and it is December the 4th. And so there's a big solar flare. You can see it here. This is from the NASA NOAA government site, also solar ham, space weather. These ones are all space. Sorry, there's a siren going by there. They predict and they watch all the solar flares and the solar winds and the coronal holes and the CMEs, the coronal mass ejections. And so there's a big one heading this way. And I think there's another one they're expecting to hit the Earth on the 7th or the 8th. So they have a very profound effect on us, especially if you're an empath, if you're sensitive at all. The solar flares, I find, they hit the Earth. They are always connected to the Earth through the electromagnetic field. So the sun is basically shooting off these electromagnetic frequencies all the time. It hits the north and south poles of the Earth, which creates a torus force field around the Earth from the magnetic poles, the north and south pole. And you know that, of course, that the North Pole is moving very quickly, very, very quickly, critically, and it's over Siberia. And some people say that when it reaches to a certain point that the magnetic poles will flip. Now that's also part of a Hopi prophesy, which is also kind of concurrent with what's going on in the world. But anyway, let's stick to these sunspots. So when they shoot out whatever it is, a coronal wind, a CME, they affect the electromagnetic frequencies of the Earth, and everything is electromagnetic. We are electromagnetic. There is really no such thing as gravity. It's all magnetism. So these solar winds, remember this, the sun is the biggest star. It is the life force in our little Milky Way galaxy here. It's the main star. So we feel this on some level. So if you're sensitive, I find I get dizzy, I get kind of vertigo, I get really tired. It kind of opens me up psychically. My daughter gets really bad headaches. She's prone to getting headaches though. And my husband feels it also as the dizziness, a bit of headaches, tired. So he gets kind of all three of them. But it affects everybody differently. That's what I find is the main ones, and you should be aware of them. So if you're suddenly feeling really drained, it's because you're resonating with the electromagnetic fields of the Earth. Your animals will also feel them way more than we do. If you've ever noticed an animal during an eclipse, a solar eclipse, when the light is blocked out and all those weird shadows from the leaves fall on the trees, all the animals go silent. So your cat or your dog or whatever your pet is will probably feel this. So just to note that we are moving up to a big full moon on the 16th of January with a very rare Mars occulting the moon. And so Mars will disappear behind the moon. The sun is opposite the moon, but the moon and Mars will also occult each other on that time. So it's very rare. It doesn't happen that often. You will be able to see it for about 31 minutes. I think you have to look this up, this information online to see exactly where you're going to see it. But it's a very rich alchemical time, okay, especially on a full moon. And so, yeah, the moon opposes the sun at 11:08 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time, and then Mars and the moon occult each other at 11:19 p.m., so not that long after. And then the sun also opposes Mars at 9:42 p.m. That's Pacific Standard Time, and that happens at 12:42 a.m. So really within a couple of hours, 2.5 hours, very powerful energies are going on between the sun and the moon, the full moon, and then the moon and Mars and the sun and Mars as well, all in opposition, of course. So Mars is retrograde in Gemini. Again, it's retrograded about 16 degrees Gemini because they're going to conjunct. And Mars is also moving out of bounds, which means it's moving beyond the boundaries of the tropics on the Earth. This is tropical astrology that most modern Western astrologers use. Tropical traditional astrologers also use the same kind of astrology. So anyway, so be aware, all of these elements converging. Mercury enters Capricorn as well on the 6th, so we're going to shift energies that way as well, followed by Venus. Neptune is just turning direct on the 3rd. So as Neptune is stationary in the sky, it has been retrograde for about 5 months. Venus squared Neptune earlier yesterday as well. That happens actually at 2:12 a.m. on today, on the 4th. I'm in Eastern Standard Time. And the sun trines Chiron also already today. So just feel that sense of Venus is love. She's human love and human warmth and values and luxury and wealth and love affairs, and she's also the goddess of war. Um, Squaring off with Neptune or higher octave in Pisces, that sense of forgiveness and compassion, maybe seeing around the corner. I'm beginning to feel that squares are like the L, the infamous L, the L, right? That people talk about the messengers of God, L. It's actually very literal 90-degree angle, and that's what a square is in astrology. And my old teacher, Stuart Wilde, used to talk about the L's, and the alternative universes were just really your outstretched arm length away. They were at a 90-degree angle. So all of that to think about. I want to thank everybody who's followed me now. I'm over 1,000 followers. I know it's not much in the big scope of things, but thank you. And I can go live. Okay, so I will do that. Thank you. I have to go to a family funeral actually today, later today. But anyway, sending you many blessings.